So welcome everyone to another Wednesday night shiur. So it's very, very interesting because if you look, there's something called ayin tova. You ever hear of that? What's a good eye? Ayin tova. You have to have, every person in life, he has to have a good eye. Now what's a good eye? You have ayin ra'ah and you have ayin tova. Ayin ra'ah, we know what ayin ra'ah is. When a person, at the end of the day, you're causing jealousy. Oh, you know the person can't afford. You know the guy, and by the way, you don't have this, I have this, and you're rubbing it in, you're pushing it in, and you know the guy can, you know the guy. That you can't do. You can't make other people feel bad, right? But what's ayin tova? What is ayin? Today we're discussing. I'm not going to go into ayin ra'ah. We're going to go right now into ayin tova. What does it mean to have ayin tova? And listen carefully. And that is when a person feels happy for other people's success. This is ayin tova. And you know where the tests comes in? I'll tell you. Where it's the same, I'll give you an example, same industry. Imagine you are in the industry of, let's say, selling sweatshirts. And you have a very big company and it's rolling and it's amazing, everything like that, it's amazing. Now, at the same time, you have another guy in the industry, he's a Jewish guy, very, very nice guy. He comes to the same shul as you, everything like that, and he's also in the industry. And now he is maybe doing sales 10 times more than you. Now, how do you feel? When he walks in, how do you feel? My competitor, oh my goodness, what's going to be? So, to have ayin tova on everybody else, let everybody be successful, that's great. But what if he's in the same industry as you? Do you say, oh yeah, great, ayin tova, let him do? Anything, a bakery. Let's say you're a baker, right? You have your own bakery and that. And then all of a sudden somebody says, oh, how'd you do today? Oh, Shabbat, you know how many chalot I sold? I sold 200 chalot. He says, oh yeah, you sold 200 chalot? My friend, the other bakery, that I know him very well. He sold 300. Why are you getting hurt? Why are you getting hurt? This is called ayin tova. Now listen how important it is to have that. If you look in this week's Parashat, it speaks specifically about Aaron wearing the Hoshen Mishpat. What was that? You had the Hoshen was on it was the breastplate. You had 12 stones in it. You had the carving, like the letters. All the letters, you have all the letters of the Shevatim carved in different lettering, rearranged. And the way it would work is, there was something called the Urim Vetumim. What is the Urim Vetumim? Urim comes from the Lashon Or. Tumim came from Lashon Tam, like perfect. When it was the Shem Hashem, it was a very special name of Shem Hashem that was within, like a little window inside. And when you would ask a question, what happened was, it would come and answer through lettering. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. Take Eli. He sees Chana coming to pray. She's praying and praying and praying and praying, but this time, sometimes you pray wild and you're going and you're this and you're that and you're shaking and this. And all of a sudden she says, oh my goodness. He comes, let me see what's going on over here. He goes to Urim Tumim. It comes out, Shin, Kaf, Resh, Hey. Now, when it comes to Urim Tumim, you have to spell it out what it is. So it came out, Shin, Kaf, Resh, Hey. So what is that? Oh my goodness, what's going on? So you know what that spells? Drunk. Shikora. She's drunk. No wonder why she's going like this, like that, like this, like that. So what does she do? Eli says, what's going on, Shikora? So Chana answers back, no. Rearrange it. What is it? Keshera. You get it? Same lettering, but Keshera, she's kosher. Keshera. Wow, she's very kosher. Look how she's davening. Look how she's praying. Look how she's doing. Look how she's doing. Wow. And this is what? Who had the zchut to wear the actual choshen mishpat? That was Aaron. Now, what zchut did he have? Things in life, it doesn't just happen like that. You have to have a zchut. You think about it? Like, you have to. What zchut did he do for this? Because it says, Megal Gelin zchut al yedei zakai. Hashem could have picked anybody to save the Jewish people in times of Haman. But he picked Esther HaMalkah. She had a special zchut to save Am Yisrael. Because Megalgelin zechut al yedei zakai. You have to have a zchut in order what? You have to have a zchut in order to be meritorious for something great. Now, what zchut did Aharon do to be able to have the honor of wearing the Choshen Mishpat on his breastplate? What was the zchut? And to this, it says over here, very simple, and that is, Berashi, it says over there, Katav, Vera'acha v'samach belibo. The pasuk says, Vera'acha v'samach belibo. It was a back and forth between who? Moshe Rabbeinu says, I don't want to be the leader. Why not? Because Aharon is older than me. And think about it for a second. Who was leading the people? Who was leading the people the whole entire time? Before Moshe Rabbeinu, who was there? Aaron, very good. So Aaron is leading the people the whole entire time. So now what are you going to do? You're going to go and who are you going to put instead? You're going to put, now Moshe, you're going to put me? But that's because... That's one. And secondly is, he's saying that Aaron's my older brother. Give the... Yeah, you're right, the list, but all these things, but also in all that, with all those, that was also part of it, but also part of it was because Aharon was older than me. So he says all these things. Think about it, what's going on over here. And now, what's the reaction that's going to be by Aharon? And the pasuk specifically says, Lo kesheta sover. Hashem's telling Moshe Rabbeinu, לא כשאתה סבור שיהיה מקפיד עליך שאתה לא לגדולה. No, don't think that Aharon is going to be makpid. Don't think he's going to have a hakpada, hold a grudge that you are going to go into greatness. Umisham, because of that, zacha Aharon le'edei hachoshen. Because of that, Aharon was zocheh. To put it on halev, to put it on his heart. Halev, what's the Midrash says? Halev shesamach begdulat achiv, the heart that was happy for his brother, yilbash urim vetumim. Shneimar vayu alev Aharon. You hear what's going on? Because of that zechut, he has alev Aharon. Right? This is a very prestige to wear. But how did it happen? Because Aharon had a good eye. He had an ayin tova. You know what kind of a level that is? You know what kind of level? Imagine two people are getting put in position. And they're both befitting to be placed in that position. Let's say you're in a business or in an industry or in a yeshiva. And two people could be the Rosh Yeshiva. Two people could be the head chief rabbi. You know? Oh, what do you think? Oh, Bechavol, you do it. What do you mean? If I'm qualified, why should you get the job? If I'm qualified, you understand what I'm trying to say? Let's say you're CEO of the number one company. You're working for 25 years, and the other guy's working for 25 years, and now the company is deciding who is going to be the new president of this company. Are you going to tell your friend, don't worry, Habibi, imagine the owner says, I'm going to put him CEO. You're not going to feel a tinge of, what do you mean? I'm here 25 years. I make the same amount of sales as he does. Why should he get the job? Why not me? No. It's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, Aharon was happy in his heart. Even notice, it was happy in his heart that Moshe Rabbeinu got the position. And since he had a ayin tova, that he's happy for the success of others, no problem. You understand? Be happy when other people get successful. Be happy when other people get beracha. Be happy. Don't hold it. Oh, why? Even you have shidduchim. Oh, the girl, she got married. Oh, she got married before me. Oh my goodness. Be happy for her. Bezrat Hashem, you also get married, but be happy for her. This is the great lesson that we're learning. But there's two more lessons that we have to know, and that is one of them is where Chaim Shmulevitz says, why was it so important that the person who has ayin tovah, a good eye, has to have that to wear the urim v'tumim? You know why? And I'll read you what Rav Chaim Shmulevitz says. Rak lev shemargish kol kach et hasheni. Only a heart that feels the other person, shesamach bigdulato, that you're happy for the other person, hu zeh sheyachol la'anot et teshuvah ha'amitit be'urim v'tumim. You have to understand. Rav Chaim Shmulevitz says, how does it work? The urim v'tumim, different letterings come about. So because the different letterings come about, what happens is you have to know how to scramble the letters and be able to say to the person the right answer. The only way that you can do that is, he writes, Rav Chaim Shmulevitz is saying, who's the best person for the job to do that? That's a person that feels for the other person. Because when you feel for the other person, you'll be able to interpret it right, what the Urim V'Tumim says. Even though, like we said, it's you don't know what it, wait, I can read the word this way or I can read the word that way. But if you're the type of person that has the Ayin Tovah, that feels for the other person's success and the other person's glory, you'll be able to figure out how to answer the right answer. That's why Aharon was Zocheh. This is Rav Chaim Shmulevitz. That it makes sense. Rav Chaim Shmulevitz says it makes sense that he was Zocheh because he had to have an Ayin Tovah in order to answer correctly. You have to feel the other person in order to help him correctly. If somebody comes for you for help, the only way you're going to be able to really help the person if you feel what's going on. Again, if somebody ever comes to you for help, the only way that you really could really feel to really help, of course everybody can help, you can help. But to get to the root of the problem, you go into the psyche of it. I feel that person, what he's going through. Let me see what I can do to help. I'll give you the perfect example. And I know you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I can say it 100 million times. It's worth it to say 100 million times. Listen to this story. Amazing story. I love it like a passion. One time came the Brisker Rav. Somebody came to the Brisker Rav. And he said, Rabbi, can I be Yotzeh, the Arba Kosot, for Pesach with milk? I want to be Yotzeh. Instead of wine, I want to drink milk. So the Brisker Rav says, no, Asud, you have to have the wine, but wait. 1 second, it's Pesach very soon. 1 second, he tells his guy, go upstairs, get this, how much money should I bring give this amount of money? So let's say it was like $800. Give him $800. So he's bringing him $800. Okay, the rabbi brings him $800. He gives it to the rabbi. The Brisker Rav gives it to the guy, and he says, "Chag Sameach. You should have a great Pesach," and then he leaves. The rabbi asks the Brisker Rav, he says, I don't understand. I really don't understand. How much does wine cost? How much does wine cost? Huh? Let's say $20 a bottle. So what do you need? 2-3 bottles to get 4 kosot? So it's about $80, $100. Why are you giving him 10 times the amount? Why are you giving 5 times the amount? Why are you giving him so much more? So he says, listen, if he's asking me if he could be yotzeh with 4 cups of milk, must be that he doesn't have meat. Yeah. If he doesn't have meat, I'm giving him money for the whole seudah, for the whole meal. I'm giving him money for the meat. I'm giving him money for the wine. I'm giving him money for this and for that and for that, to have a luxurious meal, to feel the herut. Yeah, to feel the freedom. You hear how the rabbi thought? He did it. Yeah, if it come to me, what do you tell the guy? How much you need? Oh, you need $100? I'll give you $100. But if you look at the whole scope of things, you need much more than $100. But the only way the Brisker Rav was able to really delve into it, he looked into what he's going through. Wait. One second. It's not it's not enough to have just that. It's not enough just to have that wine. You need meat also. So I'll give you meat. You understand? Sometimes a person has to read through the lines. You know what I just said? Sometimes a person has to read through the lines. I'm going to tell you a story that happened literally 2 hours before I got here. Okay. A few months ago, we're talking about 6 months ago, somebody came to my house and I was just hearing him. And I heard through the lines that he needed a little bit of help. A little bit just to boost him up parnasa wise. So I wrote him out a check and he was so grateful. He called me up the next day. You don't know what you did for me. And my wife was thanking you. She was blessing you and I was blessing you. And fast forward a few months later, he calls me up. Rabbi, I have a question for you. I didn't speak to him the whole time, from that time till then. I have a question for you. And he asked me, I said, oh, by the way, come to my house now. I have another check for you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy. Thank you. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. I saw the question didn't even make so much sense. Like, what are you asking me? Like you could ask anybody. This question doesn't make sense. Like, what's the beracha on water? Like, you can ask anybody. You have to ask me. The answer is, he wanted to ask me for, let's say, for a bit more help. But he didn't have the koach, he didn't have the strength. Sometimes you have to read between the lines and say, wait. The question doesn't even make so much sense. Like you can ask anybody a question. Why would you call me to ask me such a question? You can ask anybody. The answer is, he wasn't asking me for the question. He really wanted to ask me for another boost of help. But he didn't want to say it beferush. He didn't want to say it openly. So the way he did it was, let me call the rabbi, let me ask him a question, let him remember me, who I am, that he helped me out 6 months ago, and therefore, so if I didn't read between those lines, the guy, I don't know, the guy would have felt bad, but Baruch Hashem I was able to, because of preparing for the shiurim with you guys, and because of that, look, you read through the lines, whoa, he needs more, we got to help him more. You know who was the most famous that he was able to read through a person? Should I tell you? Yosef as-Sadiq. What was happening by Yosef? Yosef is in jail. Now what happens when he's in jail? What happens? He sees that what? Sarah Ofim, Sarah Mashkim, they're there. And what do they have? Their faces is what? Is down. Now, he could have just passed by and he could have just ignored the whole situation and not say anything, but he said to himself, listen, let me read through the lines. This person, I see that I can help him. If I can help him, let me see. Listen, Habibi, why are you not happy? What's going on? Take out that sadness off your face. What are you doing? Life is too short. What happened? Tell me. And Yosef as-Sadiq was able to read through the lines in that situation, not just to see, faces just down. No. Because he felt for the people. Yosef felt that everybody should be happy. So if they should be happy, why not make them happy? You know what the Gemara says? Rabruka choza'ah. It's kavbet amudal from Mesechet Ta'anit. Halfway down the page. What does it say over there? Rabruka choza'ah was walking around and he says, who has Olam Haba here? So the Gemara speaks that he saw Eliyahu Navi. He says, Eliyahu Navi, who has Olam Haba in this marketplace? So he says, over here, nobody. Oh, somebody walked in. Yeah, that guy has Olam Haba. Wow. So he went there. What do you do? I want to hear, what do you do? Olam Haba? He tells him the whole story. What's the story? He's a jailbreaker. That means to say that he is positioned. Whatever. The whole point that what happens? He was a jailbreaker, and meaning what's a jailbreaker? Meaning a jail warden. What is a warden? A person that takes care of the jail. Huh? Yeah, warden. So he takes care of the jail, and he makes sure that anybody who comes in, if they're Jewish and this, that, he protects, and this, that. That was the first one. And the Gemara goes on to say more, what else did he do? But the point I want to say is the second person. All of a sudden, another two people walk in. Oh, those two people have Olam Haba. What do they have Olam Haba? What do they do? So you know what the Gemara says? Gemara says, Semechim, they're happy, Umesamechim, and they make other people happy. Yeah? How do you make other people happy? When you feel, oh, there's no reason, Habibi, let's go, let's jolly up, let's go, cheer up, what's going on, what's going to be? Let me help you out, no problem, get out of this. So since they were sameach and misamechim, they weren't just happy, they made other people happy. How do they make other people happy? They felt them. I see the vibe, sometimes you have a vibe, you have just like a body language that the person doesn't feel that, and you just give him just a encouragement, and the person feels so good. That's you get a lot of baffle. Semechim, they're happy, but also you have to be happy. Yeah. Semechim, they're happy. Umesamechim, and they make other people happy. How do they make other people happy? How? They feel for them. What's going on? What do you need? Let me help you out. No problem. There was a person that told me that he needed help to get a mortgage. He didn't need money. He just needed help to get a mortgage. He couldn't close on a house without a mortgage. And he said there was a fellow that helped him from the beginning till the end. Says, so he asked him, how'd you do it? He says, listen, in life, you have to have an ayin tova, a good eye. What's a good eye? I want to be successful, and I want everybody else to be successful. That's a good eye. You got that? Your good eye is what? I want you to be successful, and I'll be successful, and you'll be successful. Everybody be successful. Why not? The Mishnah says in Pirkei Avot in the 5th Perek, it says over there, Arba midot b'notei tzedakah. There are 4 people that give charity. Right? So Gemara says 4 different types of mentalities of giving charity. And what's the highest one? The highest one is what? Is? Yeah, no, that's the Rambam, that's in Halacha L'Maaseh. I'm talking about the Mishnah in the 5th Perek. You can look it up if you want. You can give me the Pirkei Avot. It says Arba midot b'notei tzedakah. Not how to help the guy, but rather how to give. So you're right, but the thing is, he says in giving, he says he wants to give, and he wants other people to give. This is the highest level. Let everybody get it. Let everybody get the mitzvah. Let everybody give. Let everybody get the mitzvah. Let everybody in. Let's go. This is an ayin tova, and that's very important in this inyan. Now, the last thing that I'd like to discuss over here about this inyan of the Urim v'Tumim and the Hoshen Mishpat being on the breastplate of the Kohen Gadol is we have to know that Hashem always works. We know one of the things is midah keneged midah, measure for measure. But you know what we're learning here tonight? Not only does it go measure for measure, the person will get measure for measure, but even when he does a mitzvah, whichever organ that you did a mitzvah with will be strengthened. You heard? Again. It says, over here we're learning, Hashem, you did a mitzvah, you're going to get paid back. Hashem will pay you back. How? Midah keneged midah. Right? How midah keneged midah? Let's say, for example, one time you gave somebody a ride. Right? You gave somebody a ride. Okay. What happens? 3 years later, you're stuck in a place, I don't know, Arizona, and like, oh my goodness, what's going to be? Hashem, I need a ride. All of a sudden, midah keneged midah, somebody picks you up. Wow. You help somebody, midah keneged midah, somebody's going to help you. But now we're learning something else. We're learning something fantastic. Not only does Hashem do measure for measure, but Hashem does measure for measure on the same organ that you did a mitzvah with. Which mitzvah of the organ was Aaron doing? Lev. His heart was happy. He had an inner, I don't know if you're happy for my success or not. Only Hashem knows if you're happy for my success or not. Only Hashem. Hashem went into Aaron's heart and he saw v'samach belibo. He was happy for Moshe Rabbeinu as the leader. That being said, if that's the case, what happens? We're going to give the Eved, which is the organ, the heart of the organ, the actual reward. Not only the person, but actual organ. You hear how important that is? And I'll give you another example. And I'll read it to you. he writes, Rabbi Eliyahu Baruch Finkel, he says, "Shetashlum midah kenei midah, midah en ze rak klapei adam." It's not just the person to the person. Ela tashlum schar leoto eved she'asa oto mitzvah. That same eved that did a mitzvah with, that was strengthened. There was one time a person, he had what's it called? Something with his leg. Something was hurting with his leg. So he came to Rav Chaim Kanievsky. He said, "What should I do?" He said, "Learn Ketzad Regel." He was saying, learn a perek that speaks of that the title is Regel, but also do mitzvah with your feet. What should I do? My feet do mitzvah. Do mitzvah. I always say, you have Shlomi. He's over here, Kadash. Every day he's pressing the button of the camera of the video, right? So I say, you don't know your finger that touches the button to record. You know how kadosh this finger is? Every day he presses the record. Every day he presses it. It's great. This finger is doing the mitzvah with that mitzvah. How many? So therefore he's saying the Eved itself is midah keni midah. It gets back and forth. And another proof to this, he brings from what? From a lady we know she wasn't the biggest tzaddiket. Who was it? Izebel. Izebel, we know she wasn't the biggest tzaddiket. Right? But it says, listen to what it says in Melachim Bet. והלכו לקוברה ולא מצאו בה כי אם הגלגול ברגליים וכפיים הידיים. Okay. Let's say that she says that what? שהייתה מרקדת בידיה וברגליה ומקסקסת בראשה ואותם אומרים שישמחו חתם וכלה זכו לקבורה. Says they found Izebel. What did they find about Izebel? They found her head, her hands, and her feet. So everybody's worried. She's a Rasha. A Rasha, like she usually a Rasha gets abolished. They're completely abolished. They're completely dead. Right? Who was Izebel? The story goes, everybody knows about King Ahav. He had a field next to him, and he really wanted the field. So he told the fellow next to him, "Listen, I want to buy your field." He says, "No, this I'm not selling nothing." He says, "Please, no." He comes home. Izebel says, "What happened?" He says, "This guy, he's not selling me. I really want it." He says, "You're the king. You can make sure you get it. You're the king. You can do whatever you want. What should I do?" He says, "Ay. So what she do? She made 2 edim and false witnesses, and basically with these false witnesses, she was able to get this person executed. And now he got executed, and now who got the land? Achav. Who gave him the advice? Izebel. So you can imagine what kind of rishah she is. And what was the midah kenei midah for Izebel? It says that really she was abolished completely. But what lasted from her? Her legs, her hands, and her head. Why those 3? It says because the mitzvah that she did, it says over here that she says, שהייתה מרקדת לפני בידיה וברגליה לשמח חתן וכלה. To משמח the חתן וכלה, what happened? She was dancing for the kala. You know how they, עוד ישמע ועליהו דאו. So what do? You משמח חתן וכלה. So the fact that she danced in front of the kala with her hands, and she moved her head and she moved her legs, so that eved, that limb became kadosh, and that stayed. You hear what's going on? There's different limbs in the body. I'll just tell you real quickly. There's something called the niskoi bone. You ever hear of the niskoi bone? The niskoi bone, they say, is only in the back, right, over there. And when a person gets buried, right, that bone is always there. That bone lasts forever. And through that bone is going to be the tchiyat metim after 120. And where does that bone get nourishment from? Who knows? Milaveh Malka. From eating a meal Saturday night. Mosei Shabbat. That's what it says. Beferush. You definitely should eat. Definitely must eat. Right? So the best thing is, as nice as you can, the best thing is bread. If you can't do bread, or let's say a person's like way too full, okay, so you go down to mezonot. You can't do mezonot, you go down to fruits. But have something. The best, Rav Chaim Kanievsky told Rabbi Yisrael Reisman over here to do it to Rav Reisman. You know Rabbi Yisrael Reisman? So he said to wash for bread. That's Shulchan Aruch. The best thing is to wash for bread. Okay, sometimes a person is physically cannot. It's impossible. He can't. His stomach is too full. He can't do it. You know, you ever have that in the summer? We finish at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Oh my goodness, I just had Seudah Shlishi. What should I do? So in that situation, if you can't eat bread, what should you do? Eat mezonot. You can't eat mezonot? Eat fruits. Fruits, everything. Everybody can eat fruits, right? Kazait, make a nice plate. Sit down, eat a nice kazait of fruits. Or vegetables even, that already, as long as you set up nicely, make it nice, this is already, you're feeding the niskoi bone. That's important, you have to be very careful. Now, don't take away from Seudah Shlishi, because it says, anybody who eats 3 meals, which is the Friday night meal, Shabbat day meal, and Seudah Shlishi, gets nitzom midinei geinam, shibud Mashiach, right? And he gets saved from each one, he gets saved. Chevlei Mashiach he gets saved from. So, Melchem Gog Magog, Chevlei Mashiach, and Midinah Shel Geinam. So those 3 meals are very, very important meals. Very, very important meals. So all the meals of Shabbat, Friday night, Shabbat day, Seudah Shlishi, and Milav Malka, everyone has a fantastic significance to eat. Make sure you eat. It's very, very important. You know, the eating on it. There's so many halachot. There's even halachah that says about Oneg Shabbat, how important Oneg Shabbat is. How Hashem gives you so much reward just having Oneg Shabbat. What's Oneg Shabbat? You enjoy it anyway, but you eat it, you bring it for the Shabbat, Hashem will reward you. Nechala b'li metzarim, it says. Like land without any borders. It'll shower you with wealth. Forget about it. It's true. It's true. I know a friend of mine, he got married. Listen to what his father said at his son's Sheh Barachot. His father said that I know why my son was zocheh to marry such a girl from such a family. So what was the family? I'll tell you the family. The family owned a humongous company selling candies, kosher candies, like the gummies and all these different things. Like a huge company of all these different types of candies and there's that. So the father said, I know why. Measure for measure. Midah keneged midah. So what was the midah keneged midah? He says, my son, since he was the age of able to go around by himself to go to the store, every Shabbat he would come with his own money and he would buy the store all the candies for all his family. He'd bring any drinks. He'll bring everything for the Shabbat. He said, what are you doing this for? For Shabbat. Daddy, mommy, we have to enjoy Shabbat. I'm buying everything. You buy everything every time. Everything. Hashem said, Midah keneged midah. You did this, measure for measure. You not only you're gonna own the whole store. Now he gets everything for free. He goes to the company, goes to the store, tak. That's it, Shabbat. Says, because he did it when he was a kid. And this is, Rabotai, a great lesson for us. I like just to go over just the lesson real quick. Again, we asked, what was the question that we asked in the beginning? We asked in the beginning, what zechut did Aharon HaKohen have that he had the Urim v'Tumim, the Hoshen Mishpat on his heart? And the answer is, he had a Ayin Tovah. He was very happy that Moshe Rabbeinu, not just happy, he was ecstatically happy that Moshe Rabbeinu was going to be leader. I'm very happy for him. Wow, take it, B'chavod, I'm so happy for you. Do a great job. You're doing a great job, B'chavod. The second thing we said was Rav Chaim Shmulevitz. Rav Chaim Shmulevitz says only a person that has a Ayin Tovah, a good heart, can really be able to connect the dots. Because we said in the Urim v'Tumim, what happened was just some letters will come up, and you have to figure out what the letters mean in order to give the answer. So only a person that has that feelings, like we gave that example of the brisker Rav with the milk and the meat that he paid extra for the meat. Only a person that could actually feel the other person, he is the one that could really tell you the right answer because he actually feels that. And the third we said is midah keneged midah is not only with the person, but it's also the physical body. That same organ that he was happy with was his heart. Hashem saw that heart was also rewarded for that.